This is our hero, Liu King, who is woken up because he fell asleep in the classroom again, only to be laughed and ridiculed by the students, and he was reprimanded by the teacher, who told him that even if you wanted to become just a construction worker, you would not be able to increase your key to only 0.7. In addition, all you are doing is sleeping. After the end of the chapter, Lu Ziming, one of the few friends of our hero, spoke to him and asked him about why he had a nightmare again, to which he answered yes, and that these nightmares made his Kai points decrease by 0.02, and now he had to take a ton of medicine and train a lot until he at least returned to his previous self. And he told him also that there are monsters everywhere in his nightmares, and that the land there is depressing and deserted. He offered him a manga that went to play video games to relieve himself, but he refused to go and return to his home. And on his way it seemed to shine that he came from another world, and that that world is not much different from the one he is in. Now, when he arrived home and found his tired father bought him an expensive healing powder to help him raise his ki energy, and since his poor and sick father was doing everything for him, Luton was moved and felt ashamed to go to his room to have fun, so that he would make his parents proud of him, and wished to use the reconstruction technique, the 24 bodies that martial arts experts pour for beginners. But first, let us know why Kai energies are important and why martial arts are necessary. Well, 300 years ago, the world changed and savage creatures descended from the sky. This event changed human history, as weapons were no longer effective, so humans searched for alternative ways to fight, for a mutation to occur in the gardens of humans, and for them to become powerful, for humanity to introduce martial arts. But despite this was not enough. Humans were in a bad condition, and city after city fell into the grip of monsters. Therefore, the world government called on people to train more in martial arts, and thus it became the most important thing in the world. We returned to Ting, who finished his training, said, "Nothing has changed, despite my training. My younger sister has just about reached 0.9, and I am unable to return to my previous form. This is all I really have to hold on to himself." He wanted to train more and more, but when he tried to stand up, he fainted and sank into his nightmares again, only to be surprised by someone. One of the monsters, before being devoured, placed his foot on rock. Apparently, this is not the first time they have faced each other. Suddenly, memories of the monster began to seep into his mind, and unawares, he was attacked by another monster, and shockingly, he killed him with a quick move, surprising him. He said, "How did you become so strong?" It turns out that he not only acquires memories, but also acquires the strength of anyone who kills him. He also discovered that these monsters were humans in the past, and he was transformed by something in order to bear it. However, he was surprised by. He remembered that it was just a dream, and in the midst of his work, memories began to come to him about Al-Qaeda 1359, and he said he saw her in other memories and decided that he would go there in order to find an explanation for his dreams, and he must also find other monsters in order to improve his level. He wakes up and finds his sister Kingi calling him to eat. So, he tells her that he fainted while he was exercising. She is surprised by his body, which has become fascinated with muscles. Liu King says that she used to follow him everywhere when she was young, but she changed after they entered middle school and was no longer the same. This did not surprise him at all, because of the difference in levels between them, as she was classified as a genius, while he was the complete opposite. As soon as he wanted to change his clothes, he was also surprised by his body, and wondered when he had become in this way. Not only that, but he said that he feels energetic and that he remembers all the memories he got from the monsters, and even their techniques. Here he realized that he has become stronger, and that he is able to gain power from his dreams and turn them into reality. This means that he is able to increase the energy that leads to sleep. He just went down to the dining table and, contrary to his habit, he began to eat voraciously, and this surprised his family and made them happy. After he finished, he decided that he would go to measure his ki energy, and he arrived at the Dujin Hongquan, in which he would measure his strength. Lu Cheng saw a poster in which the king of the Dujin, Mr. Hongquan himself, was present, and he is a. Here are the minimum requirements from the first rank to the fourth rank. The martial artist with the first rank. The required health condition is 1.5. The combat power is 150. The martial artist with the second rank. The required health condition is 15. The martial artist with the third rank. The required health condition is 100. The combat power is 10,000. The martial artist 200. The combat strength is 100,000. And as we can see, the difference between each stage and the next is very large for Lu Cheng to say that in order to reach the fourth stage, he will need 300 times his current level, knowing that an individual's position in society is linked to his rank as a martial artist. When Dajin entered our stomach and began measuring his ki energy, he found that it had become 0.96, and this means that his dreams were actually making him stronger to be filled with happiness. He began to measure his fighting strength to recall all the experience and methods that he had gained from the monsters, and he released them to show that the amount of his strength was 113, and this amount was even more than the maximum limit of his Kai energy. He was fighting strength to recall all the experience and methods. Martial artist, I only slept for 1 hour, and my strength increased greatly. What would happen if I slept for 8 hours, 9 hours, or even 10? But the boy's resolve was shattered. After returning home, he could not sleep. He said that it was early and that he would spend a little while before sleeping to begin doing the usual body rebuilding techniques. But this time, the techniques became effective thanks to the techniques that the monster learned when he was alive. Chen repeated the movements 200 times, and with every movement he felt energy flowing inside him, not only because of the bodybuilding technique, but also because of the competition technique that he acquired from the beast as well. To say that during this short period of time, he had progressed more than all those years he had been training. Suddenly, his body reached its limits. As he felt extremely hungry, he realized that because his body was being forced to grow, he was consuming a large amount of energy, so normal meals would not be enough for him. From the nose up, the solution, and pills, but because of his family's poverty, he would not be able to afford it. It cost because it was very expensive. He decided that he had to earn money by obtaining a school scholarship. The way to do that was to show his abilities to the school. The opportunity to do that came to him, where he would get a practical lesson. While changing their clothes, Ming, who was also amazed by Luo King's muscles, he said, "It has only been a few days, but you have changed a lot." In the end, he thought that he was just practicing to attract the attention of the girls. And repeated the lesson, which would be supervised by teacher Zhang Cheng, who, of course, that was just Cheng. He started reviewing with him what they had learned before. After that, he asked one of the strong students named Fi to come and show his prowess to the class, and of course you can see that he enjoyed it. The girls admire him. He is handsome, strong, and rich, in addition to having the best pills. And his Kai energy is 1.2. During his fight with the teacher, Losing was looking at him, intending to pass. After they finished, the teacher said that he would summon another student so that his Fi could emerge, but no one wanted to.